Welcome back to the battlefield. Today, we get to kick off the Armenia campaign. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time, so I'm really excited to get in there. Quick faction overview, I get a bonus to ammunition for missile units, which is good because I plan on using a lot of skirmish cavalry, especially early on. Get some bonus to wealth from commerce buildings, diplomatic bonus, increased morale in my own territory, and unfortunately increased naval unit recruitment costs. That's not really too big of a deal. As far as campaign settings, this is what I'm working with. It's pretty standard for me. I have debated turning on the 60-minute timer because my battles almost never go that long. But I kind of like just having the timer off. There are some cases where it causes problems, but I think for now I'll just go ahead and leave it off. But anyway, let's get right in there. Now, I wanted to do a blind start to this campaign, because what I've done with other campaigns in the past is I'd played through the first several turns just to kind of see how I wanted to play things out before I would start actually recording the campaign, and then I would go back and restart. So, instead of doing that, I recorded a whole bunch of episodes, 3 episodes, but the recordings were all kinds of messed up, so I had to delete them. And I'm actually kind of annoyed by that. But at least this time I kind of have an idea of what I want to do right off the bat. So maybe the beginning will run a bit smoother. Another thing is, as far as campaign strategy, I tried to do an economic build from the start.
After years living under the yoke of foreign
whatever. And I tried to do an economic build. Instead of going to war and capturing a bunch of territory, I tried to just really build my economy and get things going strong there. And it made for a really, really slow start, where pretty much every battle I was fighting was just putting down minor rebellions. So this time I might be a little bit more active with the military. Alright. For starters, though, instead of immediately recruiting, I'm going to take a look at diplomacy, because what I think I want to do is gain some diplomatic securities along my northwestern and southeastern borders, and then conquer this province up here. So let me try and get some trade agreements and maybe some non-aggression with my neighbors.
And so serve our peoples with honor. We can ask no more.
Because if I can get these things, I can always go back and take these guys out later.
And look forward to your erudite arguments and witty quips.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to give me all of your money.
With these words, you bring joy.
I've also realized I say the phrase I was going to say
the blessing of the Olympians
all the time.
What
and
then
I'm starting
do
to
your
annoy
noble
myself
people
with
desire of us?
Maybe I'll figure out how to change my patterns of speech.
With these
Alright, I'm
words,
not
you
going to get
bring
involved
joy
with the
to my heart
Seleucids because
and
I
hope
actually
to my
kind of
soul.
want to conquer them.
My thanks.
But I'm not going to worry about doing that right off the bat. Right off the bat, my goal is to attack these guys. I don't want to go after this settlement because it's a walled settlement, and that'll just be difficult because I have terrible, terrible infantry in the beginning. Alright, so let's see. Right off the bat, which army... Okay, so my king is not actually a general. This guy is in command of the Bearers of Truth. Alright, so I want them to do the majority of the fighting. To start, I'm just going to merge these two armies. I'll let this general stay back as a governor, and he'll try and maintain some public order here.
I don't care how tired you are.
My spy can go straight up here and get ready to steal some food. And speaking of food, one of the first things I need to do is get some food going. So I'm going to start it at Armasada, I think. The other thing I want to do is upgrade the capital rapidly. I'm going to get some public order in here, I think. Should I do public order here? Maybe in the capital what I'll do is I'll get the animal breeder, and then out in one of these minor settlements I can get some public order going. And while I'm at it, I may as well just do all of these. Okay, so I'm burning through a ton of my reserve cash really, really fast, which is a little bit dangerous to do. I'm not going to start recruiting just yet. In this province, let's see, what do I want? I think I'm going to want some extra food and some extra growth. On the other hand, I could really do with the public order and a larger growth bonus. And since I've got +2 food right now anyway, maybe that would be the best option for a couple of turns, is to do Breton Games. The other thing I'm going to do is upgrade the capital chain and this building right off the bat. Okay, so that's enough for economic spending. In terms of military spending, I'm not going to do any this turn. I want to get some governors really, really fast, because they can make a huge difference. And then I think next I will go for the heavy horse studs, using the physical conditioning tree. Over here, let's see. I actually do kind of want to upgrade this just because having a wine settlement gives you public order bonuses across all of your provinces, and early on public order is really, really important. The problem is if I upgrade this I lose food, so to counter that I have to produce more food. Alright, so I'll do that. I did more economic spending than I said I would, but anyway, it's done. I'm going to hang on to some cash because at the beginning of next turn I think I will probably start some recruitment. Now this guy, he's 60, so I don't need to bother getting him married or anything. I just need to get him enough influence to adopt this younger guy. So I think actually the easiest way to do that is going to be to have him organize games. And I'm just going to do it in my capital province, because the faster I can get public order over +75, the better. When it gets over 75, I get the highest bonus to my economy. So that should be enough for turn number 1.
I speak with a simple tongue without trickery. Accept or do not accept, but do so honestly.
This is a little bit of a problem. I don't know why they went to war with the entire Seleucid Empire right off the bat, but I don't want to get involved in it just yet. So no, I'm not going to accept that. Now, most episodes in this series will be probably between a half hour and an hour.
Our wisdom, together
I'm going to let this first one run a little bit long,
Trade is the
just because there's so much to do in the
prosperity.
beginning of a campaign.
Will you not pass within?
Alright, so this actually is creating a bit of a different circumstance than I was expecting. What I might actually do is try and gain some diplomatic immunity up here, and then attack into the Seleucids right off. But I feel like it'll be easier to take on these lone factions, and plus I don't want to declare war on the Seleucids until their satrapies rebel against them. Okay, the king came back from his mission. He has enough influence to adopt this guy. So now this guy is part of the family, and being adopted gave him enough influence to get married. And now the wife can throw some money around to keep other people loyal.
We fight for you, my lord.
I was initially going to just drop these units off into this army, but since I am probably going to have to deal with rebellions here pretty quickly, I think I'll actually just go ahead and keep these guys
To your duties, man.
in this army. And I'll just let these guys patrol over here, because that'll help a little bit with public order and it'll boost my income.
Ready for order.
This army needs to start marching
Make haste, man.
up towards my future enemies.
Swift and silent. That is all.
Alright, and
We
I should
fight
recruit
for
as much
you,
as I
my
can
lord.
while I'm on the way. But I don't really have access to any good recruitment options yet, so I
Ready
actually
for
might just
battle.
park here for a couple of turns, wait for this construction to complete,
Lead.
and then push forward.
You march again.
And while I'm doing that, since I'm not going to spend money on military for a couple of turns, I'm actually going to take the time to upgrade these settlement main chain buildings as well. I don't want to get involved with these guys because everyone around them hates them. I don't think there's anything else I should do with the military. You know what? Maybe I can trade with the Seleucids just to get some extra income. If I were to trade with them, how much would it be worth? Hardly anything. Okay, I'm actually not going to bother. The diplomatic penalties would not be worth 72 gold per turn. Definitely good to get as much food as I can right off the bat. I don't even have enough money to upgrade this one, but that's okay. Alright, I've got enough food there and there for now. I'm going to go ahead and leave this in for the extra growth. It'll take quite a while to get to the next growth point, but you know what, maybe it would be better to just get some extra income, I don't know. I think I'll be alright with this, so I'm just going to cycle through a couple of turn ends now, while I'm waiting for this building to finish constructing.
Finding shelter.
Okay, it's good that the population is starting to be pretty happy in my capital province. Got one more turn of construction to do there. Got enough to upgrade this. And you know what? The farm increases banditry, but it doesn't decrease public order, so I'm actually going to go ahead and do the farm. And that should be all for this turn, I think. Also, next turn I can recruit some dignitaries.
Journey completed.
Alright, formal government research is complete. I'm gonna go for the extra food, just because food is always such a priority. And alright, so I've completed that. Now what I could do is spend another 6 turns just waiting around so that I can get the heavy horse studs, and that would let me recruit a much wider variety of cavalry, particularly these cavalry archers, which would really help in a siege situation. Because right now I can't afford to have a field army and a siege army. They both need to be kind of the same thing. So I may have lied a little bit, but I think I'm going to save up. I'm going to wait for 6 turns to get this built, and then another 6 turns while it's building. So again, still it'll be a little bit of a slow start. But I think this is going to be the best way to get myself a good start to the campaign. Over here, public order is decreasing. I would imagine is because of cultural differences. There's not a whole lot I can do about that at the moment. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just keep the army there to put down rebellions. I also forgot to deploy my spy, but that's not a major concern. Alright, let's not forget this time to deploy the spy. I'm gonna move him over here though, just to try and maybe get line of sight on these guys. Is it gonna work?
Treading softly.
Not quite.
As you command.
Alright, now, governors. Growth per turn would be awesome. Growth per turn plus unit replenishment. Reduced recruitment cost would be nice. I'll actually go with that because I plan on recruiting here fairly soon. Over here, I'm kind of tempted to just not even bother trying to fight the cultural conversion because I only have 1 out of the 4 settlements. So I really don't think I'm going to be able to influence the culture much in this province. So I think I'm just going to recruit my second governor in this same province up here. Now let's see, growth and the commercial stimulation edict, which is this one. Alright, so that's not a major factor. So between the two of these, it doesn't really matter too much.
My words are yours to die. Setting forth.
Deploy them next turn. Let me check real quick on the diplomatic situation. Okay, so these guys are still neutral. The Seleucids still have their vassals, but they're at war with Egypt and Nabatea. Good to know. Right, so a couple of quick turn-end cycles here. Unfortunately, they're not actually that quick, just because there's so many little tiny factions it has to cycle through.
A treaty between our...
I do want non-aggression with those guys, but I don't want more treaties yet because I don't want the Seleucids declaring war on me. Okay, let's get the agents deployed.
It is as you command, my lord.
Public order is going to just keep being a problem over here. Got a little bit of a garrison to help out with any rebellions though, so should be alright. Okay, a bunch of construction completed, so am I out of food? No, I'm still even on food. I should try and get into the positive. And you know what, as these buildings complete, I'm going to go into the negative, so I'm going to change my edict. Over to importing food. just to make sure I don't go in the negative, because that hurts growth. And I don't want to lose any growth. Alright, let's see, this guy also had a kid, but that's not really much of a primary concern yet. Loyalty is fine. The other thing I would like to do is switch over to, I think, a centralized kingdom. Either that, or, let's see, what was the other option I was thinking about? Maybe an oligarchy? Because I really don't like having the -10 loyalty for all political parties. That's kind of a major penalty. But obviously I need 10 grand for that, so it's not going to happen for a little while. Now, another thing I'm going to try with this campaign is I want to actually manually resolve every battle. And so that's going to mean, like, even little rebellions, if I've got a full 20 stack and I'm going up against a bunch of armed citizenry, I'm still going to manually resolve it. And I might change my mind later on in the campaign. But for the time being, that's my plan. So, not having battles early on really doesn't mean a whole lot, because I'm about to have probably maybe 200 battles over the course of this campaign. I think the last campaign I had like 170. And I manually resolved like pretty much exactly half of them. The other thing I think will be nice is there will be a couple of times where, like, my settlements will get attacked or whatever, and I don't really have much of a chance of winning. But it'll give me an opportunity to just see how far I can push a settlement garrison, or see how far I can go with a losing situation. I didn't realize I had to do organized supply and then physical conditioning. That slows things down quite a bit. On the plus side, it means next turn I could switch over to a different government type.
Ready for battle.
Now I guess I am going to need some infantry, but I don't need to recruit them yet, so I may as well just keep my upkeep costs low. My spy has a skill. I'll just start working in towards stealing food, as I always do. This is kind of one of the other problems I have with starting a faction, or having a faction that starts with more than one territory, is since there's more to control, it's harder to manage your fronts, and it's harder to just be aggressive right off the bat. It should be easier, so maybe I'm just not very good at the game. Like, it should be easier because you should have higher income. But I feel like it's more difficult because you have more vulnerabilities as well. Okay, so these guys are going to have a full army of infantry, plus their garrison by the time I get over there. So ideally, I could isolate them from the garrison. But again, that's still several turns away. I think I will actually go ahead and switch government types. But I really don't want the slave unrest penalty. So I think I'm going to go with the centralized kingdom. And for my characters, obviously that's going to hurt loyalty pretty bad, but I think early on I'm protected against secession or civil war, so it shouldn't be a problem. Oh yeah, my governor's leveled up.
At your service.
Okay, you. I don't really need the cultural conversion here. I don't really need the empire maintenance reduction just yet either. So I'm going to go for the bureaucrat.
is an honor to serve.
for both of these guys. +2 public order per turn. Absolutely, I will take that. Now I should have a rebellion next turn over here, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple more units. These Galatian levies are actually decent
Requires noble men.
compared with the rest of my units, so I'll pick up these guys. I'll have enough to take on the rebellion, and we'll go on to the next turn. Okay, there's the rebellion. I'm gonna go ahead and keep improving public order here. Public order is pretty much always a priority for me, because if I never have to deal with rebellions,
At your command.
it just makes the campaign that much
Ready for
easier.
order. Kill them all!
Okay, what kind of army do they have? Alright, so it shouldn't be anything difficult to deal with. I'll take some casualties. But it's not like this army is terribly important anyway. What I'm going to have to do here is get my general to do most of the killing. Because their general will rip straight through my spearmen. Okay, there's not really anything fancy to do with formations.
Javelin men!
I do
As you
want to
say.
use the javelin men effectively,
Ready to ride!
because they can do a lot of damage in these kinds of
As you
circumstances.
say!
I could charge my general up there just to try and minimize the damage their archers can do. But I'm not expecting their archers to do a whole lot anyway. I've got light troops, but I suspect I will be right on them soon enough that it won't really matter. Just go ahead and get over there. Let the spears take the javelins, because they just aren't that important. The general should be the primary killer in this battle. We'll see if I can activate their skirmish mode here. Okay, not yet.
Missiles!
I'm fine just taking a frontal engagement here. Come on, make them run away.
Orders! Charge! Battle ready!
I don't know why my guys are stopping.
Warriors ready! Javelin men! Royal cataphracts!
Okay, I'll let these guys charge in. Watch how fast these guys drop.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Actually, not as fast as I was expecting. I think that's because their general didn't bother charging me, which is a little weird.
Awaiting orders!
Tell these guys to stop just for a second so the cavalry
We
can
are
get
at
past
your
them.
command! Charge!
And I'll have them continue over here and use the javelins to try and even out this engagement on the right. I'll use the cavalry to wrap up the rest. Those archers shouldn't last long. I do need to try and run down as many of them as possible.
Our general is under attack.
So I'm going to let my general keep killing this unit for a little while. these guys are losing, but as long as they hold for a little bit, it'll be okay. Okay, that's plenty of damage done to them.
We will darken the skies. Cut the flags.
Go ahead and use the Inspire as well.
Orders.
Okay, we'll have this unit just keep chasing these guys down. I guess I'll set the Javelin to keep chasing, to help chase them down, rather. But they should break pretty quickly, but I need to run them all down if I can. Alright, so at this point the battle's over. Go ahead and continue.
Ready to ride.
The enemy general is dead.
So obviously nothing difficult, just a quick rebellion, but our general gets to go out and have a bit of a field day, so that's nice. If he can get some experience, that would be great, because then I can make him a better city governor. As expected, the general was the primary killer. This unit of spears over here actually did really, really well for themselves. I think they were the ones that were up against this spear unit though, so it kind of makes sense. This spear unit was fighting these guys, so they didn't do quite as well. And this one up against the general didn't do so great either. Okay, I'll go ahead. I'm actually going to enslave the captives because I want to build up my slave population just a little bit.
On the move, my lord. I don't care how tired you are.
Oops. Okay, make this guy into a city governor. Over here, I don't think anything has changed.
Ready for orders.
Construction report, can't do anything about either of those. Increase in rank, that was just the general. Alright, so that should be all for this turn. Loyalty is still bad, but it'll start improving pretty quickly here. So, in the meantime, we will wait for the research to continue.
Destination reached.
Rebellion imminent again. Not too much of a problem.
March.
What I could do is actually stop taxing this region, but I don't think it's going to matter that much.
My lord.
I'll just let this general keep getting some kills. Everyone else gets to just kind of hang out. Let me check on the diplomatic situation between other nations real quick. Okay, so these guys aren't good friends, these guys aren't either. These two are buddy-buddy, so I bet declaring war on them will put me at war with Kartli as well, so I actually might need to have 2 armies ready to go up here. Still just cycling through, waiting to get some better troops. The other advantage of this is it lets me just save up money in the treasury, and it lets all of my construction complete, so that I can have greater income per turn.
We are much alike.
I really don't want to do anything more diplomatically with you guys, because you're about to be destroyed.
I dare not ask much for my people. Only a...
There is much to be said for generosity between friends. It profits both parties. Don't you agree?
You know, I'm actually starting to get a little bit worried about my southern border. Because I don't think this faction is going to last very long. And once they die, my entire southern border is open. So I might actually try and get some non-aggression up in the north. We'll see. Building up a good treasury size. This should chase these guys off into the Seleucid territory. Ah, never mind, I thought it would go the other direction. Alright, another quick battle will be the exact same as last time. Except I should take less casualties because they have 2 spear units instead of 2 sword units.
Ready! Javelin men! Royal cataphracts! We await your orders! Forever loyal!
It's interesting that they're actually... Oh, I was going to say it's interesting that they're coming up to meet me, but they were just moving up a little bit. I was kind of hoping they would charge all the way up.
Your command!
Try and keep them from shooting my general too much. It's not like he can't take it, but it's just a nuisance. I actually wouldn't mind having just one solid line engagement instead of a bunch of one-on-one unit engagements here.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
My lord! Yes, ready! Heavy horse at your command! Spears ready!
Go ahead and let that engagement play out.
Our aim is awaiting orders! Royal cataphracts!
Our general is under attack.
Missiles at your command! Advance at speed! Heavy cavalry! Missile infantry ready! Fire! Royal cataphracts!
Okay, instead of running those guys down, I'm actually going to go chase off the archers. This unit can keep chasing them. Pull the general out of there and let him kill the archers real quick.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Galatians! We are at your command!
One problem with having super heavy shock cav is they're just not very fast.
We will darken the sky! Spears! Orders, my lord!
Once they actually get into a charge, they go pretty quick, but until then, not very fast units.
Spears! Our order! Spearmen ready for battle! Spears!
You guys turn around and kill that, or surround the general.
Get ready!
Go ahead and continue, run him down. You guys knock it off. I should have taken him off the fire wheel. Yeah, that's enough of that unit dealt with. Probably don't need to do anything else to that one. Alright, that should be fine. A little bit more free experience for the general. The infantry actually did a lot more in that battle. Right. That has also given this army some experience, which is always a good thing. Go ahead and just give them campaign map movement range and extra damage. And then it should be as simple as just ending the turn. Okay, I've got plenty of food here now, so I can go ahead and switch this back over to bread and games to get the public order going the right direction again. I'll be having another rebellion next turn.
Ready for orders.
You know what, maybe I will stop taxing this just so the rebellions aren't quite so frequent. Okay, what happened over there? They got killed by some rebels, I think. Either that or they got liberated by this faction. So that could be an opportunity for a land grab over here. Let me see what the diplomacy is like with this new faction. It's not
For the
bad,
sake
it's
of
alright, I'll
friendship
just
that
go
has
ahead and
been
trade
and
with them.
we are a mighty
Okay, if they
people,
don't want trade, maybe
well
I'll go
versed in the
conquer them.
uses of wealth and power.
Well, offering it again isn't going to change anything. You know what? Maybe that has just designated my first target. Still several turns until I've got the improved cavalry, but for now I can go ahead and just pick up some horse skirmishers. You know what, instead of doing that though, I'm going to change the edict over to my recruitment bonus, so that I can recruit faster and cheaper.
At your command.
And you guys can just hang out for a little bit. Spy is still gaining skills. He's one step closer to food stealing. Okay, let's check on loyalty. 0 across the board, still protected for another 7 turns, so no problems there. Did I get access to recruiting champions when I finished that first military tech? I think I might have. I can't remember if I have to recruit the first thing. Anyway, I'm not really sure how to explain it. I'll just have to show it real quick. Okay. So, did I get access to veterans when I recruited that? No. I would get it if I recruit that. Alright. So, I finally got this upgrade done, which means I can upgrade this building. It'll take me 6 turns to get through it, though. And I'm not going to wait that long. Okay, I actually want to bring this army back to this city to take some population from it.
Join our ranks.
And I'm going to go basically just full bore horse skirmishers. These guys are taking some attrition, probably because it is an extreme drought in the summer, which is
Ready for battle.
a bit unfortunate. They should still be plenty strong enough to handle the rebellion next turn. I may as well tax this place because it's not going to change whether I have a rebellion. Over here, I need to build... Oh, I need to research all of this stuff, but I'm trying to think which would be the most beneficial right off the bat. The loyalty would be nice, but it's not crucial right off the bat. I'm wondering if this would be the best option, because then I can get the herbalist and I can start getting some province-wide sanitation going. But for now, sanitation isn't really a problem. It's interesting that the Armenians don't actually have any reform system in DEI. You know what, I'll go ahead and start recruiting that so I can get some decent infantry as well, because I'm going to need better infantry if I want to take on these walled settlements.
At your command.
Was that as many units as I could recruit here per turn? Yes. Alright. Over here, I'm also going to pick up some more of these Galatian levies,
It's a great and glorious thing to fight for our cause.
just because they're slightly better than my standard spears are.
Ready for battle.
Okay, and my governor's leveled up. Go ahead and give them the increased or the decreased recruitment cost, I suppose. And you know what? Out of curiosity,
At your service.
so if I change both of these so that they have a recruitment bonus, and then I unrecruit all of my units in this province, so 18673.
At your command.
18673. Now if I go like this, okay, so that is actually saving me money right off the bat, so I'll go ahead and keep it.
I dare not ask much for my people. Only a single payment to replenish our sadly diminished.
Nah. This is a little bit of a tricky starting situation because all of the factions around here are so gung-ho about killing each other. So basically getting involved politically with anyone is guaranteed to cause problems.
Ready for orders.
Okay, you come over here. Still got another 5 turns on that, so it's not a big deal.
It is a
Keep
great
picking up some more horse skirmishers.
thing to fight for our cause.
I really probably shouldn't go full horse skirmisher. I'll go half and half. I'll actually disband these guys because they're just not that useful. Go ahead and pick up a couple of these spearmen just because they're slightly better. Than my normal spearmen. And then let's go deal with another rebellion. I actually can probably ignore that rebellion now, because this, now that it's in the Seleucids territory, I think they will go after it.
On the
So I'm
move,
going to
my
leave it
lord.
alone for a turn.
Ready for battle. Advance.
I'm actually going to drop off a couple of these Galatian levies here,
Make haste, man.
and then get back over and re-recruit. This garrison should hopefully be strong enough to hold out if these guys attack me next turn. We will see. Alright, I don't think anyone leveled up, so I should be able to just end the turn. Actually, I did want to check real quick, because I didn't pay attention to whether these guys were a client state of anyone. So they are a military ally of Kolki's. Alright, let's see if we can get some non-aggression or some trade up here.
Let us conclude our business with good haste, and then... Welcome, friend. Welcome. Come, sit.
Alright. Slight change of plans. Not really a big deal. It looks like I'm going to be going to war with Kolkis soon. Because if I declare war on these guys, that's war with Kolkis as well. Loyalty is still fine. I shouldn't need to do anything else here. It's kind of weird to build such skirmish-heavy armies because I so typically just go with a bunch of infantry. Usually the bulk of my armies is always infantry, and then I have supplemental cavalry and missile troops. So it's going to be interesting for me to try and micromanage and strategize like within battles when I'm using a totally different army composition than what I'm accustomed to using. Okay, the Seleucids were not kind enough to deal with my rebellion for me. It's a little bit of a problem, actually. Alright, but these guys are ready to go over here. Kolkis actually got destroyed. Alright, instead of going over here and recruiting, I'm going to actually pick up units here just because I can get so many more.
Come join our ranks.
And that way it'll help me get ahead of the rebellion's recruitment, because next turn they'll have 12 units.
Ready for orders.
So this way I'll have 11, and a lot of it will be cavalry, so hopefully that'll be enough to take them down.
Ready for battle.
Go ahead and let these guys patrol this turn.
Your feet bleed. You march.
Alright. Now, next turn should be the declaration of war against these guys. Yeah, Kolki's got uprooted. That's fine. Well, we're gearing up for the first actual military conflict of this campaign. So we will have to see how the Armenians fare in combat. Hopefully they're good, because it's going to be really bad if I just get steamrolled. Alright. Well, I said I'd fight every battle. What are we up against? I got a bunch of spears. These guys are decent, but they're still not going to be great. A couple of archers. They've got 3 archers, but they're all better than mine. Alright, so this is actually going to be really difficult, but I maybe have a chance. If I can use choke points effectively to minimize the missile damage I take, I think that's going to be the key to victory here. So what my plan is going into this is have a unit of spears just sit in a choke point, let them take the missile fire, because their archers will obviously shred mine. And then I can send the armed citizenry out to chase off the archers. They won't be able to beat the archers, but they can at least chase them off, and then I can use these heavier spears to hold somewhere. Alright, now where am I going to get attacked from? I could maybe just hold back here, because it's very choke pointy. If I can get troops, yeah, okay, so troops can move through there. So I might actually try and hold a choke point right here.
You wait your orders.
Gotta make sure my archers don't use their ammo poorly. Okay, now I cannot get units through there, so this is like a corner. I'm kind of corner camping. But it is what it is. Let's see, the armed citizens can start out here because I want them to go out and chase after the archers. Now, hopefully, they don't come in this direction. If they do, that could be a little bit of a problem. Also, actually, I'm going to move this unit of spears so they're not inside the archer units.
Missiles at your command! Orders, my
I'm actually going to pull this unit back
forever loyal!
so that I don't get outranged as hard by their archers.
Missiles!
Melee infantry at the ready. Make ready, men. Make ready, for the storm is here. Our foes assail us, but we can weather their worst, and we can triumph. We will not be beaten down or pushed aside, but we will stand firm, as our ancestors did.
Orders, my lord!
Alright, what's the AI doing? Actually, how do their archers compare with mine? 15,165 versus 15,165. Okay, shots per minute, they shoot slightly faster. Armor 1 around 33 versus armor 1 around 29. Okay, so maybe I actually have a pretty decent chance here. I'm gonna go ahead and put my guys on fire wheel so that as soon as these archers get in range, we'll start peppering them. Send the mob out and around on a wide flank. Now I need to make sure I have enough infantry to hold here while I work the flanks, because the flanks are where I'm going to be able to do most of the damage. Okay, their second row of archers is out of range, so I might actually just take this engagement because it's a 3v1. While there, well, it was, now these guys are firing. But they might be hitting the spears, yeah, so that's okay. Let them shoot into the shields of the spears, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, it keeps the plebs hidden for now. Alright. You know what, if you can shoot from there, then fine, shoot from there.
At the ready!
Really not killing them very quickly in this unit of spears. Well, they're holding out okay. Okay, I definitely think I'm losing this engagement right now. But I can't really commit to the flanks until their infantry engages me. I'm gonna have to send another unit of spears over here.
Missiles at your command.
That is a good sign. Come on, just rout. I don't think I'm going to be able to get them to shatter, so I'll just change targets over
Our
here.
general is under attack.
You guys can maybe get a bit of a side angle here, so go for that.
We will darken the sky! We are at your command! Archers!
Kill the skies!
At the ready!
Okay, let all of these guys throw their javelins into this unit, because this unit just doesn't really matter.
Ready!
Then I'm going to trade that unit out with these guys, because they're healthier. Okay, plebs, get on the move. You guys go ahead and fall back.
Orders, my lord.
These heavier spears, get over here and get ready to help hold the center. Send a couple of these lighter spears out and around as well.
Missiles at your command.
So the balance of power on the campaign map was showing it heavily in their favor, but when we actually got on the battlefield, it was showing it in my favor.
Spears
Or
at your command.
even if it wasn't exactly in my favor,
men
it
are
was showing
wavering.
at least even. Alright, so the main thing here is I just have to keep them in place while my guys get around the flanks. Okay, archers,
Come loose.
switch targets.
Orders, my lord.
Mob go around the back so that I can trap the archers.
We are at your command.
We await your
Okay, I'm gonna send in these heavier spears now. I guess they're medium spears, not heavy spears.
Archers.
Oh my. Okay, you guys chase that unit off. Just so you're not getting shot in the back. Hopefully the mob gets here in time to catch them.
Orders, my lord. Archers.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Okay, now their melee infantry are substantially better than my spears. So I do need to be a little bit careful,
Marching order. At the double.
because this could turn around really fast.
Infantry.
Go ahead and send the mob to deal with that last unit of archers. How are we doing on the front line? These guys are healthy enough. Still got another reserve unit of spears plus the general. Bring the reserve spears over now.
What are your orders? Archers.
Let the archers go ahead and fire into the center of this blob. Some of them probably can't get an angle on them. Yeah, I'm going to send these archers out.
Quick march.
Okay, back here, we're in even combat.
Spearmen.
There's no
What are
problems
your
there.
orders? We are at your command. Double time. We are at your command.
Just let the mob do their thing.
Orders. Archers.
Wonder if I should bring a unit over here, maybe.
Double time. Orders.
These guys could probably definitely get a better angle.
Double. We will darken the skies. Double time. Archers. Missiles at your command. Fire on the enemy. Archers. We are at your command. Advance at speed.
I'll set up a little bit of a kill box here in case they start to break through.
Archers. Orders, my lord.
Don't want to switch to flaming shot just yet, because I don't want my own guys to rout.
Orders, my lord.
Spearmen ready for
I
orders.
think I'll wait until their general gets down to us. Okay, you know what? We've got 3 units in there. Let's try flaming shot. Plebs, just go ahead and keep chasing. That doesn't really matter.
We await your orders. Our spears are yours.
Alright.
Archers. Steen and Tor.
run down as much as we can. These plebs are not going to catch the
enemy
archers,
general is dead.
which is a little bit too bad, but whatever. Okay, that's probably most of them dead. Yeah, we'll call that good. Alright, so choke points give you ridiculous advantages against the AI. I think everybody who is even slightly familiar with Rome 2, or pretty much Total War games in general, already knows this. But the AI is very, very dumb when it comes to attacking choke points, because they will pretty much always throw everything in together. So if I had like one hoplite unit there, that hoplite unit could have probably held off their entire army by itself in one choke point. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and just release these captives. I'm going to refuse in an effort to increase their loyalty. Alright, now I have way more men down here than I need. But there's another battle to do. Just go ahead and finish off this rebellion real quick. And yeah, it gets a little bit tedious, but soon the rebellions will be dealt with. And they won't be happening so often. What I could actually do is just give up this province. Like, give up this city, because realistically it's not providing me much. But since it's a wine settlement, I really, really like to have that public order boost. Faction-wide.
Skirmishes!
We await your orders! Royal cataphracts! Javelin men! Royal cataphracts! As you said!
Okay, don't let the horse skirmishers fire at will. Because I want them to pick their targets purposefully. And really, it's because I want them to hit these units in the back instead of the front.
Royal cataphracts!
Okay, you guys keep wrapping around.
Our orders! Orders, my lord! Fill the sky!
Go ahead and just let those levies do their thing on skirmish mode. They don't matter too much anyway.
Advance at speed! Awaiting orders!
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
Missiles! Our spears ready! Are yours! Tribunos! Our orders! We await your orders! Our orders! Galatians! We are at your command! Our orders! Javelin men! Spearmen! At speed! What are your orders? Heavy cavalry! Listen, cavalry! We are at your command! Royal cataphracts! Javelin men! Royal cataphracts!
Okay, there's not much to say in this, obviously, since it's, again, just a quick rebellion.
Forever loyal!
Actually, a decent little clash there. But the cavalry keep shooting
Royal
on them.
cataphracts!
that's holding up pretty well, but I suppose it's partially because I haven't rearranged my cavalry so they can fire more effectively.
We await your orders! Our orders!
Ready for battle!
Go ahead and let those
One of
guys
our
keep
units has
fighting.
used all its ammunition.
I could probably just charge these guys in there to finish this off faster, but sometimes it's more fun to use javelins. Go ahead and continue, obviously. Run down as much as we can.
The enemy
This trail
general
of retreating
is dead.
soldiers is always a little bit funny and a little bit sad. Alright, good enough. It actually is somewhat tempting to just get rid of this city. Because manually resolving every rebellion that happens, if I'm having a rebellion every other turn, I'm not going to have fun doing that, and I doubt anyone's going to have fun watching that.
At once!
So what can I do about the public order here? We're up to -40, so it'll be a little while before we have
I don't care
rebellion,
how
so
tired
that's
you
nice.
are!
I can actually stop taxing it and we'll be positive on public order. So maybe that's finally the cure I needed over here.
At your command. Make haste, men!
Alright, what have they got for a garrison? Half strength garrison, basically. And whatever's in there. So let me just wander over here and see what I'm looking at.
We fight. March! At your command.
I'm scared. Alright, I'll probably do this at the start of next episode. I'll probably... because I think this one's gone over long enough. So I'll go ahead and end this episode here. We'll start off some actual military engagements in the next episode. Probably with this battle. We'll have to see when we get into the next episode whether I think I can actually win it. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you're looking forward to seeing the best heavy shock cav in this mod in the near future. Only 3 more turns until I can get Armenian cataphracts already, so it's not far away.
We fight.
And that's all for this one, so I will see you guys in the next episode.